What is going on, everybody? We're back with another video, and we are officially only 1 week away from the 2020 NFL Draft. Bro, I've never been this excited for the NFL Draft in my life, man. It's just some hits you when you haven't watched live sports in 2 months, and we finally got some kind of live sporting content going on right now. It's going to be amazing. I'm getting sick of watching reruns from like 2011. It's going to be great, but in today's video, we are going to go through, I'm going to mock all 32 teams, and if you guys want to see me do one more mock draft with trades this time, hit that like button. This video gets 20 likes. I'll post it next week before the draft. But yeah, it's about as simple as that. Like the vid, I need clout. So now we're just going to hop right into it and go through and mock the draft for every single team. Starting off with number 1 is the Cincinnati Bengals. Don't overthink this, bro. It's going to be Joe Burrow, hands down. Easy number 1 pick. Best player in this class, coming off the best season in college football history. Set a record for yards, touchdowns, player efficiency. Guy did it all. And all of a sudden, he's going to a team that honestly isn't as bad as I think people look. They need a ton of help on the defensive side. Kind of filled some holes in the offseason, but he's going on to a team with AJ Green, Tyler Boyd, Joe Mixon, all on the team. Overall, it's not a bad situation for a young quarterback to go into. Number 2, it's another situation, don't think that. You got some good quarterbacks down here, but overall, you drafted a quarterback first round last year. Didn't exactly show a ton of promise, but he's got a ton of potential. He was a first round pick for a reason. Give him another year, kind of get used to the offense. Overall, you go the best player in the draft. Chase Young has a chance to, looking back on this class, to be the best player in the draft. Dude is insane getting after a quarterback, and all of a sudden, you pair him and Montez Sweat, and that is a scary, potential, loaded, just freaking edges coming after a quarterback. I love the pick for Washington. The Lions have a couple things they can do. One thing is they can trade back, still probably get the guy they want. You got 2 quarterback hungry teams in the Dolphins and the Chargers over here that could trade up, get the guy that they want. But one pick that I saw somebody suggest on Twitter that kind of intrigued me is the Jaguars moving up to 3 to draft a quarterback to replace Minshew. I don't know about that, maybe though. But the trade that was suggested is Yannick Ngakwe. I don't know if I said that right. Whatever his name is, he wants out of Jacksonville. Jaguars don't want him there. They don't want to pay him. He's got to leave sometime this offseason. He's over there ranting about it on Twitter. But I saw him and the number 9 overall pick to the Lions for the number 3 overall pick. I feel like that's a win-win situation. Yannick gets out of there. The Lions get a young edge guy that can get after a cornerback. They still get a top 10 pick. Jaguars have the number 3 pick now. And overall, I think it'd be a good idea to use that pick on Jeffrey Okudah. But once again, this is without trades. So Lions, they can go either Okudah here or Simmons. Both would be great picks. Both would help that defense a ton. But I feel like pairing one of the best cornerbacks to come out of the draft since probably Jalen Ramsey couple years ago. Like, it's been a while since somebody this good has come out. Pair him and Desmond Trufant. All of a sudden, your cornerback situation looking pretty damn good. Giants have some young weapons on that offensive side of the ball. You got a franchise cornerback possibly in Daniel Jones. You also got one of the best running backs in the NFL in Saquon. But you need to definitely improve that offensive line a bit, man. That offensive line's bad. I think Bkindel has the most potential out of any of the offensive linemen in the class. Tristan Wirfs would be a good pick here. But I think you go Bkindel here and just bank on the potential. He's got a very high floor, but the potential's through the roof, man. Alright, so there's some rumors going around that Tua could possibly fall in the draft, but I'm not freaking buying it. That is NFL executives causing drama, freaking high school girls, bro, to try and get the player that they want to fall to them. And that's exactly what I think the Dolphins are doing. You got the Chargers here, who are also looking for a quarterback. If they want, they could trade up to number 3, take Tua from the Dolphins, and then the Dolphins will kind of have to come up with a backup plan. If the Dolphins want, though, they easily have enough ammunition to get to number 3. They probably could make the best offer of anybody in the draft. They got 3 first-round picks, I think 2 second-round picks, ton of ammo. But I don't think they want to do that because they got a ton of holes to fill. And why do that when you can possibly get 2 at 5 still? So I think it's all just smoke. I think it's so the Chargers stay at their pick and the Dolphins can get their guy at number 5. Tua has some injury concerns, but he was the most efficient player in college football history. The guy was, there were tank for Tua slogans going around the NFL till he was the number 1 pick till Joe Burrow decided to absolutely go off. Probably till midway through the season, Tua was the number 1 pick. Bro, you're getting a franchise quarterback here, number 5. Don't overthink it. The injury concerns are scary, but the dude's an absolute beast, and if he stays healthy, like, he's gonna do some damage. Chargers, I think, go quarterback, but I don't think it's going to be who people think it's going to be. They are going to, I think, sign Cam Newton. That's my guess. It's between them and the Patriots to sign Cam, and overall, I think bringing in somebody that could sit behind either him or Tyrod Taylor and kind of learn the offense, good situation. I'm not high on Herbert, so I'm going to go Jordan Love at number 6. Yes, it's a little bit of a reach, but I think it'd be a good trade back situation with a team like the Buccaneers who need offensive line help. Kind of trade with the Chargers and the Buccaneers so they can get help there and get better value for Jordan Love. But Jordan Love, in my opinion, is the 3rd best quarterback in this class. Big arm, good speed. He's got to work on his decision making, but you're giving him at least 1 year to learn the playbook, learn the offense, build chemistry with teammates, and kind of work on some things. Jordan Love, I think, is going to be great, and there's really no spot in this draft where people think he's going to fall. So I'm going big here. Jordan Love, Chargers, number 6. Panthers need to replace Kuechly, the presence he brought team. Let's go with Isaiah Simmons here, best linebacker in this class. He can also play safety. He is a cornerback, speed-wise and agility-wise, in a linebacker's body. The dude's an absolute freak, man. He's going to do great things. We got the Cardinals up next. They need to protect Kyler Murray a little bit. He's a little guy, bro. You can't let guys get up in his face. They're going to swat the shit out of that ball. So we're going to go Tristan Wirfs here, try to protect their young quarterback. Honestly, at number 9, Justin Herbert makes some sense here if they don't think Gardner Minshew's the real deal. But overall, you lost top cornerbacks. You lost top defensive linemen. There's a lot of pieces on that defense from the 2017 AFC Championship game that are no longer there. So why not replace one of them? We're going to go Derek Brown at number 10 to fill up that defensive line. Browns have made a few moves this offseason. They signed Jack Conklin to kind of fill up that offensive line. Their tackles were terrible last year, so they get one of the best in the class at Andrew Thomas, and all of a sudden, their offensive line's definitely probably the most improved in the NFL. Oh man, I saw a rumor yesterday, and it just instantly is like, this is such a Jets thing to do. They need wide receiver help for sure. You lost Robbie Anderson. You need to give Sam Darnold some weapons. 3 stud receivers. But out of these receivers, they like Ruggs the most, it seems like. And that seems like the guy they're going to draft. I don't agree with it. I think Ruggs is very, very overhyped because he ran a 4.22 speed. But you know who else did in a unofficial workout? Jalen Reagor ran like a 4.28. Yeah, Ruggs is a better prospect than Reagor is, but not by as much as people think. I think Reagor's the better route runner and their vertical threat. Ruggs is the better elusive guy, and he's better at catching the ball. But overall, I think Ruggs is a little overhyped, but I still think the Jets draft him at number 11, and the Jets are just going to be the Jets, bro. Another team that needs some wide receiver help here, you got 2 stud ones here in CeeDee Lamb, who averaged 18 yards of reception last year, and a route running master in Jerry Jeudy. I like Jerry Jeudy most here, so we're going to get him. Give David Carr some weapons. At number 13, we got the 49ers, who lost in the Super Bowl. They traded away DeForest Buckner to the Colts to get this pick, and they could go with wide receiver here. You got CeeDee Lamb in here, but this wide receiver class is loaded. They can either get one at the end of the first round, or they can get one in the second round. But you know what's not? Cornerback. You got CJ Henderson in here. Richard Sherman is not getting any younger, and I think he's going into the last year of his deal. You get CJ Henderson, who some people are even saying that they like him more than Jeffrey Okudah, who went number 3 in this draft. And all of a sudden, you got a replacement for when Richard Sherman leaves. You also improved that cornerback situation, pairing him with Richard Sherman for at least a year. Give him a chance to kind of learn over one of the best corners to ever play. Buccaneers, they need offensive line help. I've suggested maybe trading up to get it, but they didn't have to. Jedrick Wills fell to them at number 14. It's an easy pick right here. You take him, you protect Tom Brady. I mean, shit, bro. Tom Brady's old as dirt. He gets hit once, he might die. Broncos are a tough team to kind of digest on what they're going to do here, but I like the idea of going CeeDee Lamb at number 15. You do that, you got Cortland Sutton, CeeDee Lamb, Melvin Gordon, Phillip Lindsay, Noah Fant, Andrew Luck. You got a very young just loaded potential offensive core, plus they filled out that defensive side of the ball a little bit. Overall, Broncos are one of my most improved teams going into 2020. Falcons, you lost Vic Beasley, need to replace him. We're going to go Bkindel here. He's a freaking monster in the middle of the field. He's going to get after the running back. He's going to plug the run, get after a quarterback. I like him a lot in this draft, and I feel like that's a good value pick for the Falcons. Cowboys, simply put, they just need secondary help. You can go McKinney or Delpit here, but you lost Byron Jones in free agency. You need to get some help on cornerback. That loss, I feel like, is going to have a greater impact than a lot of people really realize. So overall, we're going to go Jeff Gladdy here. Get some help on the cornerback. Try to replace Byron Jones. Dolphins are making their second pick of the first round, man. They got 3 first-round picks. They got a lot of holes on that team, but why not protect your new franchise quarterback who has a ton of injury concerns? So we're going to get Josh Jones, who has a ton of potential to possibly be a top 10 pick. I will not be surprised if somebody reaches and gets him. His potential is that high. I like Josh Jones. You got Dolphins getting Tua and Josh Jones. I like what they're doing so far. And this is probably the most surprising and unlikely pick of the draft, but I like it, bro. Why not replace Derek Carr with Justin Herbert? Let him learn under a year. Justin Herbert's fault ends, and all of a sudden, you have got Jerry Jeudy and Justin Herbert in this draft. Raiders are looking pretty damn good. Maybe not right away, but give it a year or two. You got Jeudy, you got Herbert, and you got Josh Jacobs. Offensive side of the ball is looking nasty over there in Vegas. So once again, Jaguars back up. They need to replace some of the guys that they're going to lose, and they're going to use Yannick, plus they lost Calais Campbell. You need some guys that can get after the quarterback, so we're going to go Chase in here. He's the best edge left. Get after a quarterback, kind of replenish that defense with some young talent. Eagles are a team that I think are going to trade up to get the receiver they like. They are really like CD Lamb. I mean, who freaking would? Dude's a beast. But I could see him making a huge offer to kind of trade up to maybe where the Broncos are and draft CD Lamb. But with what's left, you still got Justin Jefferson, who played with the #1 overall pick last year. Dude's a freaking monster in the slot. He tested a lot faster at the combine than people thought. He's got the speed, he's got the hands, he runs great routes. I think that's a great pick for the Eagles. So the Vikings are a very tough team to digest right now, because yesterday there was a rumor that they're in talks with the Browns to acquire OBJ. All right, first off, why haven't we talked about this yet? That trade, usually you have a trade that works for one team and not the other, or it's a win-win trade. Very rarely do you have a trade this big that is a lose-lose for both teams. Yeah, the Vikings get OBJ, but where he was at last year and where he's been the last 2 years, he wasn't much better than Stephon Diggs. Plus, he gets paid a ton. He's going to take up what little salary cap they have left. Actually, they don't have enough to get him. I saw one person suggest that Anthony Harris could be in the trade, who Anthony Harris, I feel like, has a greater impact to the Vikings than OBJ would. Then from the Browns freaking side, OBJ's 27, has a ton of potential. You gave up a first, a third, and Jabril Peppers for him, and you're going to get a second and a 5th round next year? Anthony Harris would be pretty dope, but you got to re-sign him. Still, that kind of depends what's going to happen with the draft. I still think either way, they're going to need corner help, but all of a sudden you trade Anthony Harris, you need safety help. If you don't trade for OBJ, you need wide receiver help. But for right now, we're going Kristen Fulton. Patriots are up, the top quarterbacks are gone, wide receiver class is very deep, so why not go out and get the best middle linebacker in this class and get Patrick Queen to kind of improve that defense even more. Great defense. You got a guy that can play all 3 downs, sideline to sideline, stop the run, good in coverage. Love Patrick Queen. And then the Saints, they don't have a ton of holes. They are a good team. They honestly can make a good run at the Super Bowl this year. The one hole they have is linebacker. So now we're going to get players similar to Queen in Kenneth Murray. Great first run. He's fast, plays sideline, and he has a ton of potential in coverage. So now this is where things get interesting for the Vikings, depending on if that trade actually happens. Like I said, you trade Harris, you got safeties right here. If you don't, you got receivers. We're going to say, since it hasn't happened yet, that they go receiver here. Denzel Mims, 6'4", he's fast, great hands, can go up and get it. I like Denzel Mims a lot, and I won't be surprised looking back on this draft class if he is the best receiver in the class. I love Denzel Mims. Making their last pick of the first round and their third overall, we got the Dolphins, shoring up QB of the future, protecting that QB. Now we gotta get some on the defensive side of the ball. They could go running back here, but you got 3 running backs left. You got a beginning of the first round pick. I think at least one of these guys will be there in the second round that they could draft there. So why not fill out the defense? We'll get Grant Delpit, kind of fill out that secondary a bit. Seahawks, man, they need to protect Russell Wilson, so he has to stop scrambling for his life. We're going to go Isaiah Wilson here, try to protect their star quarterback. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious what the Ravens need. They need a middle linebacker, somebody that can kind of fill out that middle role, stop the run, kind of go into coverage a little bit. And unfortunately, Queen and Murray are gone. So I wouldn't be surprised if they reach a little bit. This guy could also fall. But what about Zach Bond out of Wisconsin? Zach Bond's very versatile. He can play the edge. He can play the middle. He can go in the coverage. He can stop the run. He can go after a quarterback. He kind of fills out all the boxes and everything that the Ravens need. Titans are kind of a hard team for me to digest. So I think they're going to go Yatur, Gross, Matos. I wonder if I actually said that right. Kind of help out that edge threat. They got Vic Beasley, but still, it never hurts having too many guys that can get after a quarterback. So next up, we got my Green Bay Packers. Excited for this draft? I have no idea what they're going to do, honestly. I'm not thrilled with any of the O-line options left. Wide receiver class is deep, and both of the middle linebackers I want in freaking Murray and Queen are gone. So I still think they go wide receiver. I think they go Jalen Reagor here. He released a combine tape, unofficial, where he ran a 4.2, I think it was like 7 or something like that. Lightning speed. He only ran a 4.47 at the actual combine. But still, he can come in, he can fill that slot, he can do that Randall Cobb role where you can either put him in the backfield, kind of have him do things, or in the slot, create separation. Very elusive guy. Love the pick. 49ers are up next. Why not replace the guy that they traded for a first round pick who made way too much money, first of all. Dude got paid. Let's get Ross Blacklock on the team. Great run defender. He's going to help shore up the run defense. I like the pick overall. You kind of replace what DeForest Buckner can do. Now we got the defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. Honestly, cornerback, they could go Jalen Johnson right here. I would like the pick, but how fun would it be to get the Chiefs offense a running back on that team to add to it? Damian Williams, I'm not big on him. Go Jonathan Taylor here. And all of a sudden, that offense is going to be freaking nasty for a long time, bro. There you have it, guys. All 32 teams done. We mocked all the way down, starting with Joe Burrow, all the way to Jonathan Taylor. If you like this video, be sure to hit that like button. This video gets 20 likes. I will post another mock draft before next Thursday's NFL draft, and I'll have trades in it. And trust me, it's going to completely change the outcome of the draft. But if you disagree with any of those picks, let me know in the comment section what your thoughts. Tell me why you would draft this player or why you wouldn't draft this player, and then who you want your favorite team draft. If you're new, be sure to hit that subscribe button with that notification bell on. Generally, we post Madden content, but I do like to get into like some football stuff here and there. But if you're into that, definitely hit that subscribe button. And I'm out. Peace.